Hello and welcome to season 2, episode 2 of Project Khichdi. My name is Aditya.
And I'm Robin.
And yeah, we have a nice episode for you guys today. Yeah, let's cue for the theme in three, two, one. All right, welcome to a nice little segment of our show we call Whaccha Listening To, which is just we talk about songs that we've been really liking lately or that we found interesting or cool and that we want to show you. And yeah, it's just going to be a quick little segment before we get to the actual conversation of the show a little later. But yeah, Robin, I feel like between the both of us, you've been listening to a lot more stuff lately because just looking at the number of links I have open on my browser tab,
Oh, lol.
there just seems to be you seem to have a conversation ready, so I think I'm just gonna let you take it, take the lead on this one,
Yeah,
and then I'll follow it up with one or two songs I've been checking out lately.
yeah,
Go for
sure
it.
thing. Yeah, so firstly, like just before I talk about the track that I've been listening to, I want to thank our listeners for the little leap year special WLT that we like sort of posted on stories, and so many of y'all like shared with us a track that y'all are hooked on to. It was really fun. I kind of uh, got to hear
Yeah,
some new tracks like that I've never heard before. So that was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to post
yeah.
that, and I just
I've yet to listen to it because I don't know. I Robin handles the Instagram page for the both of us, so I end up just checking once a day for fun, and then I see, oh wait, he's done something, and then yeah, so I've still got time to go check it out. So maybe that's my homework for after the show, but I'll do that.
yeah, the playlist
Yeah,
is
sorry, go
ready.
ahead.
It's on our YouTube channel. That is Adi and Robin. So you can check it there. And
Yeah.
yeah, moving on to the first track for today. Should we play the track, like an excerpt of the track first, or do I talk
Just
about
give
it?
us a little context. What is the track about? What name
Sure.
the track, talk about it, and then I'll play a snippet of it.
All right. So I mean this guy, he has a considerable amount of following. He may not like. I guess guitarists have heard of him. I'm not so sure if everyone would have heard of him, but he is an insanely talented guitarist. His name is John, but not John Mayer. Before you jump to conclusions,
Jonathan
even though
or
he's a massively
Jonathan.
talented guitarist himself, obviously. But I'm not talking about him today. I'm talking about John Butler.
John. Ooh, okay.
And
I've never heard of this
and
person.
and a track, the track that I've sort of I have in store for today's WLT is Ocean. It's a very old track of his that he has been. It's like this track that he has like sort of invented since his busking days. So this is even before he was like
Oh, so he
famous and
buses.
sort of signing up
All
with
right, all
label.
right.
But he used to. I mean, I don't think now he does. Like, I think now he is a high profile enough to like have his own. I mean, he does have his own live concerts and stuff. So I don't think now he busks in the same way that like Santhom and I are busking, I guess. But like,
In a
yeah,
sense, yeah.
but then this track has been in the works since his busking days. So since like probably even before he had his big break. Okay,
It's
and
a busk in progress.
yeah, it's a busk in progress,
It's a
and
nice
it'll
little
always
hashtag.
be.
Yeah.
His fans say that this track will always be in progress because each time he plays it, there's a different rendition. Like it's
That's actually
almost
really
as if
good. That's actually cool.
it's entirely instrumental. It's very rich, and it's played solely on an acoustic guitar. But like it's mad skills because within that acoustic guitar, he's playing complex arpeggiations. He's doing the percussion, and even like it's I mean, I kind of don't want to explain it in words as much because I don't think that would do justice. I think
Fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah,
Um, But
I
just out
think
of
like
curiosity
that's
though,
enough of a yeah.
yeah, no, just out of
Go ahead.
curiosity, how did you discover this, and what got you interested in it? Of course, busking aside, and what you've already said, but like, how did you come across this?
I genuinely don't remember, Aditya. It's just YouTube doing its magic. I
Yeah,
don't know how I came across
that's
it,
fair
but
enough. Fair enough.
it will sound pretty different for a few specific reasons. Firstly, it's an 11-string guitar, so
Oh, okay,
like
all
the
right.
tonal quality of it, it's richer. But like we are normally used to listening to listening or like hearing about 12-string guitars, which is basically a regular 6-string guitar, but each of the string has a
It's just
twin
two times,
right
yeah.
next to it. So it's almost like you're playing on fatter strings, but instead of it being
Yeah,
one fat string, it's two thin strings like that.
I get that. I get that.
um, and in John Butler's specific guitar, it's 11 string because the G string is just one string. Rest everyone are double strings. So E,
All
A,
right.
D.
Okay.
Yeah. The G string is the third string. The third string single. Every other string has a pair. G string always has to stand out, doesn't it? But uh,
Sorry.
y-
Such a bad
it
joke.
is what it is, Aditya. But funnily, funnily enough, I wouldn't be, even though I am like sort of labeling these strings in concert tuning, he has not played in concert tuning. Um,
Okay.
Concert tuning is your standard E, A, D, G, B, E
Yeah, 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 yeah. Makes sense.
tuning,
Makes sense.
but like he has played it in C, G, C, G, E,
CGC.
like
Oh, so
the
it's gonna be a
sixth string,
lot
the
of open
fattest,
strings
yeah.
then. A lot of
Yes,
open
it's a
strings, a lot of octaves, a lot of just wow. Okay.
open tuning.
Actually, you know what?
Open tuning.
I am now curious about this. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna quickly share my screen so you can also see the video I have open here, and we're gonna play you guys a quick snippet of this, maybe about 30 seconds or so.
OBS is recording, right?
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay.
All good to go. You can see this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we'll play a quick snippet of this, so you guys can get a sense of what the song sounds like. This is the first for me as well. I've not heard this. So here is
Everything you hear,
Ocean.
just one last thing. Everything you hear is being played simultaneously. There's no layering whatsoever. It's a single take, and
Oh
it's
wow.
impressive. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here is Ocean by John Butler. This is the 2012 studio version. Enjoy. Okay, wow, that was beautiful. Oh my god, you were right. That guitar looks stunning.
Just
And
skip
just
like
the
20 seconds ahead. I'm so sorry. Like because I want to like demonstrate the percussion parts also that comes in. Like
20
this one
seconds.
was
Okay.
skillful finger playing, but like
Okay, I think
just a
here,
little
right?
ahead. Here it is. Just
That's
can
really
you
good.
play the 5 seconds towards the end?
Towards
Like
the
just
end, the last 5 seconds.
yeah. Because there's like a certain energy that like I don't want people to miss. Yeah, here.
Okay, okay.
So yeah,
Wow, that was
y'all
yeah.
will
You
have to
weren't
see
lying
the
about
full journey.
energy.
How did we go from there to here? There's a full journey. It's
Yeah,
it's great instrumental storytelling. Uh,
very very Very
And
like virtuoso guitar, like just really, really well played. I think the fact that, and I love this about the guitar, which is the fact that you have open strings, right? And you don't have that on a piano, for example. The open strings just add a layer of
yeah,
resonance and ambience that is just, at least for acoustic instruments, is unparalleled. It genuinely,
yeah.
and the people who can master and play taking advantage of that can make some truly, truly fantastic stuff. Is really, really cool. Well, I have subscribed to this person's channel. I subscribed to John Butler, so I'm gonna check out more of his
Yeah.
stuff. But yeah, do go check out this song. It is genuinely. Well, I love it so far,
Yeah.
and I think if you really like acoustic stuff, you'll also like it as well.
Unfortunately, like because it's a 12-minute song, the individual sections of it is very long. So like, that's why we
Yeah,
couldn't demonstrate the transitions very well. But like, I guess
yeah,
we
that's
showed
okay.
you some teasers of it. We
Yeah,
would
yeah,
really hope that like, you go and check this track out. In fact, I remember feeling so moved by this particular track that like, this track reached that status for me that I will only listen to it once. Like I'm only allowed to listen to it once a day because, and
Oh,
till
once
this
a
day, I've
day.
stuck
Wow.
to this
Okay.
rule. Only once in 24 hours.
Really.
Yeah. Because I've stuck to this rule till this day because I'm like, no way I'm letting such a masterpiece get diluted by like year fatigue, like by listening to it again and again and again. I want to
I
listen to
get
it
that. I
and
understand
feel
that.
the same
Yeah.
things that I felt the first time I listened to it. It never
I
fails to
have that.
impress me.
I have that with one or two songs as well, but I feel like it's not on a daily. It's not on a daily basis for me. It's more. I think it's stricter actually. I listen. There's some songs I only listen to like once a month or like once in every few months. I don't know how I ended up doing that, but it's just, yeah. It just became a thing. So that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have
And
another
just
song
another short
or?
note.
Oh,
No,
okay,
no,
good.
just another short note. So, there's this guitarist reviewer that you had only introduced me to called
Michael
Michael
Palmisano.
Palmisano. Yeah.
Parmesan. Yeah.
So he had some interesting things to point out about this track. One of the things was that this entire track, okay, this is I think probably something that's the most interesting to me. This entire track is diatonic in the sense that it use all the notes that are used in this track are from the key. There's no fancy music theory stuff happening. It's extremely simple E major scale.
Yeah.
All the notes belong to the E major scale. Not a single note is out of that. Usually, when songs follow such basic fundamental rules, we think of like simply structured pop songs. But this is one of the richest songs that I've heard, and still just using fundamental music theory concepts. Like it really changed my approach in some ways, or at least influenced it in the sense that you don't need to learn all the advanced approaches right off the bat, because even
Yeah.
in the most basic music theory level, there is just so much to master. And this track especially teaches you that.
No,
And
100%, 100%.
yeah. And just one last thing before we move on to what Aditya has been listening to. He talks about how there's a certain section in the track that goes like it's very Irish rhythm, Irish folksy rhythm. So like he explains
That
it
was some
much
nice
better than I
beatboxing,
am.
Robin.
But yeah, I'm ending up beatboxing in every episode now because of
Yeah, it's just gonna become a thing now. We should have a section where you just
yeah.
beatbox. It'll be fun.
Oh no. Anyway,
Anyway,
anyway, so the point is that like that rhythm coupled with the fact that he's played this entire arrangement on an acoustic percussion and everything, and also because it's an 11 string guitar, it really gives this a folksy aesthetic. And just one last thing I want to say is when you're listening to this track, right, don't just listen to the version that we are attaching, like the version that we streamed just now. There are so many different versions that he's played live, and each time he plays, you know that it's the same song, but he plays it so differently. That's what I absolutely love about John Butler, that the song is just a medium. The expression is still very much at the present. Like what he's
yeah,
feeling like, he makes those particular changes in that same within that same composition. The composition is not an end in itself. It's also a tool to express what you're feeling at present. So I found that very
That's
interesting.
good. That's yeah. I mean, some for some people, like a record is just it's capturing something at a point in time. So when you perform the same thing again, A, because of human nature, it's gonna change. B, I mean, the better you get at the instrument, the more you're gonna change and add on to
Hmm.
something. So I think that's the beauty of art and the beauty of yeah covers, I guess, or not even covers, like just being able to or covering your own work or covering someone else's work and adding
Yeah.
something each time. It's beautiful. So yeah,
Exactly. This track
that's
just keeps evolving in that sense. Like, because he's been
yeah,
doing that since his busking days, like each time he performs it, probably the
yeah.
skills of his present and the mood of the present, like, sort of translates
Yeah,
through this
just like I
composition.
said, it's a busk in progress. So, on that note,
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll quickly switch gears to what I've been listening to. Actually, it's not really been much this month. I've not been consuming a lot of stuff, but that's a whole different conversation. Yeah. So what I have been doing though is I've been listening to a lot of lo-fi hip hop, and Robin knows this because I mention it a lot. Is I listen to this lo-fi hip hop playlist. It's like a live radio thing that runs 24/7. If you study or you like background music, then you'd probably definitely know what I'm talking about. The Lo-Fi Girl hip hop channel, 14 million subscribers, pretty big. Yeah, and it's some great music.
In
Really,
summation, you're living the university life.
I am. But yeah, it's got some great music, really nice ambient like music and really good like instrumentation. I mean, I'm surprised for something that's meant to be background music. It's people put a lot of effort into it. So yeah, and so occasionally I will come across a song or two that sounds really nice, and this song in particular, the one I'm going to show you, is actually quite nice. I actually have another one that has guitar, like a really nice guitar progression, but I couldn't find it. So I'm going to play this one, which has a really well written piano one. And yeah, I'll play like a snippet, maybe a minute or so, and yeah, we'll talk about it. Here we are. This is High Hopes by an artist called Xander. The artist does not have a YouTube channel that I could find, but I will link the video that I found on YouTube. Here we go. Yeah, so I'm
I was almost about to sleep
yeah,
with like how peaceful, and suddenly it just goes. The beat hits, and you're
it's
like, oh wow, wow! I'm suddenly in an adventure.
it's really well arranged. I mean, the piano is
Yeah.
so great. I don't want to try my luck at guessing whether that was a recorded piano or whether that was like some MIDI stuff or but yeah, really well recorded, really well played as well. Such beautiful chords, and when the violin came in, that was beautiful. Yeah, that was it. It's just like because I'm so used to like whenever I listen to music, I'm so used to or accustomed to paying attention to like what the chords are or what the instrumentation or soundscape is. Like I was studying, and when I heard this, like, hey, hold on a second, this is actually really good. So I wrote down the name because the hip hop playlist again that I listened to, maybe I'll link that as well. That tells you what song is playing, so I just uh yeah I took the name down and yeah I've added it to my Spotify and I really like it. It like I said it's a small, it's like a little small little piece. It's nothing you know super grand. It's just a very simple kind of laid back type piano track, but it's nice and it's good to sort of come across these things. You definitely I will say it's probably harder to find this on Spotify than it is on YouTube. Um,
It's very fitting also, since that you are also, like, learning the piano a little bit,
yeah,
like
that's
whenever you
a
get time.
that's a
So
conversation we should. Yeah, yeah. That's I don't know what it is. I've been paying attention to piano stuff lately, and this just caught my eye when I was studying, and it just works. Yeah, I love it. It's a
yeah.
genuinely well written song, and then I just whoever wrote this clearly is just has got everything down in terms of arrangement, and the fact that it blends so well with that lo-fi beat is just really cool.
Yeah.
But
And like the soundscape also like works really well with
it
the
does,
album art.
it
Like
does.
I just genuinely like lo-fi album art in general. They just, I don't know, the music maybe, like not this track, but lo-fi tracks in general are supposed to be kind of simplistic,
Mm-hmm.
delves, like goes right in the background, helps you focus and all of that. But their album art is almost as if it's compensating for the simplicity of the track, because I've noticed that lo-fi album arts tend to be richer in terms of visual graphics. Um, so much, like even this one particular track, like High Hopes, even though musically speaking it's there's more arrangement in it in this lo-fi track, but like if you see the album art, it goes so well with the vibe. It's like some fantasy land
Yeah,
thingy, a
well,
guy with a stray fox is
it's
like
like yeah,
exploring new
it's just
places.
it's an alien planet with some weird mushroom trees, but it fits. It works
Yeah.
right.
And
Uh,
this track also has like this let's hop on this new adventure vibe to it
it
once the beat
does.
hits.
It does kind of. Yeah, there is that. I'll give that. When yeah, like I said, great song. We'll share a link in the description, but that's my pick for this month. And on that note, now it's time to switch gears and get to the main conversation that we're gonna do today. Let's go. So now let's get into the main topic of conversation that we've planned for today. And the I do what let's not even give context. I'm just gonna go for it. We're gonna be talking today about, or rather, we're gonna start with the question actually. So the question we had was: are music videos still that important in 2024 as they probably were maybe 20 years ago? And I know it's a very kind of yes and no question, but it is the question that started off a conversation between me and Robin a couple of weeks ago, and it's one we wanted to sort of answer today. Do you want to take this one again,
Yeah.
Robin? Sorry, I feel like I'm delegating everything to you, but you're such an
Yeah.
integral part of the team.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
okay.
just go for it, man. Just go for it.
Oh my god, don't give me that HR language, please.
I'm studying too much.
Integral part of the team and all.
No, no, just
Like the two of us, that I know that the two of us are doing this, but then we're doing this together. It's no company, like we don't need that professional language for each other.
spoken like a true
Yeah.
manager. See, that's why we promoted you, Robin. You've got that drive in you that I don't see anywhere else.
Oh, oh my god. Anyway, I'm just gonna ignore that and just go ahead with what we
Yeah.
had planned. So yeah. So actually, speaking of videos and, like, the purpose, like, is the purpose of music videos dwindling or not? We also were kind of looking at, has the purpose of it changed,
Yeah.
in the sense of, we are like videos supposed to complement the lyrics of the song and basically paint a picture or tell a story on behalf of, the song, in it, like just to like supplement the lyrics, or are they supposed to be not related to the lyrics at all, but just like sort of complement the instrumental music side of things,
Yeah.
like, in terms of adding aesthetics, or a completely different Bollywood approach that we have been seeing,
Yeah.
which is where music just is just put like a dance number in the middle of a film, and yeah, it's like the video there essentially is like all characters dancing with each other, and the music plays.
Yeah.
So
I guess pretty loaded
yeah.
question. I mean, obviously in today's day and age, the purpose that a music video can serve can be many things, but I think it's interesting to maybe take a step back and look at where music videos came from is and yeah, like what's the evolution been, why, and as we'll get to, we did a little bit of a survey with a few of our audience members. Not a very big survey, so we can't really claim that the results that we found are generic or general, but we can extrapolate some ideas. But yeah, we just wanted to know if if the music video is still is still like an important element of music in today's world. So yeah, let's start with a little bit of history. So yeah, I found an article written by the Medium, and it was talking about basically, it says why music videos are still important, and it kind of talked about where some of the first couple of music videos popped up, and obviously I think the name MTV, I think it's music and TV, right? Was the full form of that, if I'm not wrong, music and TV.
I I'm hoping
I
so.
hope
I don't know.
even I actually probably Wikipedia, but anyway, yeah, MTV, the channel MTV had so much music video stuff like back in the 90s, even maybe slightly before that, up in the 2000s. So music videos have been around for a while. It's not a new concept, right? And if you think about popular music, then we've got everyone from Britney Spears all the way to Taylor Swift making professional music videos and posting them. Well, now on YouTube, but before it used to come on television, right? MTV, VH1. And as Robin mentioned, the purpose that it served was multiple things. It could have been storytelling with kind of a visual that complemented the lyrical content of the song, or even the instrumental. It could be something more aesthetic. You could just have, I think, a lot of, and I feel like I'm generalizing a bit here, but a lot of rap videos or a lot of hip hop has, well, a lot of the music videos showcased a lot of, it was about aesthetic, showcasing material possessions, bling. I sound like a grandpa talking about this way, but yeah, a lot of that.
Oh no, that's okay.
So you want to showcase something aesthetic. I mean, I can say, for example, if you look at Polyphia the band and some of their recent music, a lot of it's very aesthetic. A lot of very very cool art. Them sitting in fancy places playing guitar. I mean, it's instrumental music. So what can you do?
Mm.
That doesn't
Yeah,
in
and
terms of storytelling. But yeah.
yeah. Another track that I've been listening to, which is like I guess lying more on the aesthetic side, is like one Kanye West track that I've been hooked on to called "Come to Life." It's like instrumentally a very beautiful track, and like he's kind of like in a slam poetry fashion, like sort of
Yeah.
talking about a lot of different things. Um, Pretty musical actually. But the thing is, yeah, it doesn't have the same bling and like luxury cars and all of that, but it's like a rather a sober video of a church at night with no lights, and then Kanye West is sitting. It's a like with his characteristic Donda costume,
Mm.
and I'm like sort of making a larger point with this, which is so Donda, right? The album cover of it is black,
Mm.
like it's just a black screen, and Kanye West dresses up with like black mask and a black vest, black pants, black, like no skin is showing, entirely black, okay, and like the video is something like he's sitting in that church in that costume, and then the church starts to burn. So like I don't know if there's some symbolism in there, but I guess that's one of the things that especially big time artists like Kanye West and Taylor Swift who like have a lot of budget for such things kind of do, which is invest on aesthetics which then they can take to their live shows, in the sense that now Kanye West sort of came like this, created a whole aesthetic around the album Donda. So it's not just the music, but also the aesthetic. And then afterwards, in his live performances, he again does that in the sense of wearing the same kind of costume. And there was like some harness, and then he was like going up the harness in like a very kind of I'm the chosen one kind of way. So
Yeah, that
a lot
sounds
of
very
these
Kanye.
stunts,
Yeah.
a lot of these stunts happen. And even Taylor Swift Eras Tour, it's a movie, so it's like,
Yeah.
and like with theatrics on stage, and like Taylor Swift having so many different costumes, and like different eras, like when we talk about different eras, it's like this album has these dresses and this aesthetic and these Easter eggs, and like all the fans are like trying to pick out what Easter eggs are there in the videos, and that kind of causes conversations. and like that's like basically not solely relying on the audio medium, even using these visual Easter eggs to keep your fans engaged. uh, like they're really investing on the aesthetic
Yeah, so
sort of front,
then
and they have the budget to do
yeah,
that.
so in that sense, it becomes about the theme, right? There's a theme and there's a sense of
Yeah,
continuity there. But I mean, just out of
yeah.
curiosity, that Kanye song that you mentioned, like what do the lyrics talk about? Does it correspond with the visuals that you described, or is it separate? What's the relationship there?
To be very honest, I personally did not fully understand the relationship in that particular song. But then there's another Kanye song called Runway, where like
Same album?
and this is again, no, completely different album.
Okay.
It's called My Dark Twisted Fantasy,
Oof.
and and like again, there's a common thing that, by the way, even Taylor Swift has done, which is, so we have heard of songs being incorporated in movies, right? Like how we hear of Bollywood stuff, but we like now there's this other thing happening again, probably exclusive, or like rather more common in people with high production budgets, that is movies made out of songs. Like Kanye West's Runaway is as it is like a 9 minute song, and like he kind of made a film out of it, which like a 20-minute short film with added verses, and like there being like like kind of not chapters exactly, but like proper like he's rapping something, the car crashes, and then car crashes to an angel that falls from the sky, and then like there are moments of silence, and then Kanye's, next thing you know, Kanye is talking to the angel. So there are talking parts and musical parts, and like a lot of like there's dialogue and there's songs also happening. And even Taylor Swift has this song in her album Red. It's a ten, like it's, I forgot the name of the track. I think, but like there is like a track which also became a film in the Red album, which is the same thing. Like it's about a girl who like sort of dates someone who is like dates a guy who is like very elderly, like not elderly as in there's a massive age difference. This guy must be like 30 and the girl's like probably 19 or 20 years old,
Yeah.
and like
Okay.
the
I think
complex
I know which one you're
dynamics.
talking about.
the
I think I know which one. I know the name as
yeah
well,
the
but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so like these two are examples where visuals kind of take center stage in a way, like even more than the music sometimes, in some places at least, because they're inserting dialogues, and they're like kind of making it like a musical, as opposed to some the example Aditya gave earlier in When Chai Met Toast, where like the song's still the
Oh
centerpiece,
yeah,
the
yeah,
video is
yeah.
just
So
adding
I'll
aesthetic to it.
I'll give you some context on this. So when if for those of you who listen to indie music in India, then When Chai Met Toast is like a staple name, and they write a lot about life, and they've got a lot of songs that are very kind of introspective. I think one such song, and it's probably my favorite When Chai Met Toast song, is Believe. And the video is pretty straightforward. I mean, the lyrics are quite vague, like they don't specify any one person, but the story in the video is very clear. There's a girl who wants to pursue her dreams, and her family is holding her back, and she's sort of trying to pave her way and make a name for herself. And that's your classic aspiration, inspiration type video. I mean, it was nice. I wouldn't say it's the um personally, for me, the main reason why I listen to that song, the song itself is very well written instrumentally, and obviously it's inspiring in terms, in lyrically at least. um but yeah, you do have music videos that focus on complementing, or expanding or elaborating on what the song is talking about, because realistically speaking, there's only so much you can do with one format. So having another format is never, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. So that gives me that raises a question that I kind of want to talk about, which is like, um, is um, so is a primary reason for artists adding video to elaborate on, a message they're trying to convey in audio? Like, is that something? Is that like a primary reason?
Yeah, could be. Could be. I mean, like the song that I was talking about with Taylor Swift was All Too Well. But like one small point before I move on to like some other stuff that I want to talk about with regards to this only, which is like again with Chai Met Toast. I would like to believe that it was an artistic choice of them just sticking to aesthetics, but a part of me is skeptical that is it because they don't have the kind of production budgets that megastars do, that they choose not to, you know, invest in like full scale aesthetic and like storytelling and movies and
What
like
exactly do you mean by
crossing
that? Because I feel like
talent.
that was a pretty professionally shot video. Nowadays, of course,
Oh no, it is.
yeah. So what exactly do you
Yeah,
mean
I
by
don't.
you know, well, in going full out in that sense?
I don't doubt that at all, and it most probably is an artistic choice. But and to be very honest, I kind of, you know, where I stand on this audio video business. Like I kind of like to listen to the music directly. I don't care for videos that much,
Yeah.
but for the most part at least. And yeah, so in that sense, aesthetic gives like a good, like it's not too much, so I can still focus on the music. It's still about the music, but like you know, I think that to have like a story in the film itself as opposed to it being aesthetic shots, like there's more crew involved. There needs to be script writing, there needs to be a director, actors, and then you hit play. The song has to sync with the music. There are dialogues, so like you know they have to now talk about those dialogues, sorry, they have to enact those dialogues with passion, and like there will be several takes there. So there's a lot more crew and a lot more uh, investment in terms of time and like in terms of clothing also, as
Yeah.
opposed to aesthetic shot. So in that sense, I was saying that, uh, like you know, it this whole thing of visual storytelling in that rich kind of form is probably the like you know, something that people with high production budgets can afford.
Probably, yeah.
Not implying that,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
but not implying that when Chai Met Toast don't have a production budget or anything. But I mean, obviously, if you compare when Chai Met Toast to like someone like Taylor Swift, there's a clear difference in production budget. So,
Probably,
you
probably.
know, I was,
But I mean,
yeah.
I think an interesting point that I'm getting for that is maybe then
Mm.
if you're spending that amount of money on shooting a video, maybe it's not just for storytelling then, and that's my question. Like, is that the primary reason? Because if you look at a lot of songs
Mm.
nowadays will also have music videos as marketing, right? And that's, I guess that's also some of the motivation for some of the initial music videos that were shot on MTV, VH1 back in the 90s. The television was a massive medium at the time, or the biggest marketing medium, right? We had so much advertising on television, so
Mm.
having a video to complement the audio just enhance the experience and make more people want to listen to the music. So I think if you
Fair
think
enough.
about
Yeah.
think back to songs that like we grew up with, "Toxic" by Britney Spears, or in my case, All the Small Things, Blink-182, yeah, like all your 90s artists, Nirvana as well. They all had, I'm sure they have music videos as well, but like
Linkin Park,
Linkin Park, yeah.
like,
I feel like
yeah, in the end, we all,
yeah, I feel like Linkin Park, those
I
slightly
think
more.
we all still
They're
remember.
slightly more like there's a bit more storytelling, a bit more like lore, and I suppose
Yeah.
there. But like
Mm.
I think marketing in that sense, like marketing for music has always come in the form of music videos. Like I can think back to some Justin Bieber songs, or even again going back to Polyphia. I listened to quite a bit of Polyphia. For those who don't know, Polyphia is a instrumental math rock band. They recently released, I think, what is their first ever vocal song called ABC, featuring Sophia Black, and that was a marketing video. It was just fun, and it was just like there was an ad for Tudor chocolate. I think there was a couple of other brands that were advertised in that video. So these like and
I
this is
see.
commonplace. You'll just see it like, and sometimes it's not even like direct. Like you won't get a pop up saying like this is a product of a particular brand. You'll just see a product featured in a video, like alcohol, for example. I'm trying to find out what
Mm.
Justin Bieber song I'm thinking of, but Yeah, I definitely think it's just because, and if you think about, like, if you connect this with, for example, how popular the video format is today, like with TikTok and short form video and all of that, right? Having something visual tends to
Mm-hmm.
enhance the listening experience a little bit. It's for the aesthetic, and there's so many genres to prove this.
Mm-hmm.
If you look at K-pop, right? K-pop is all about dancing. It's all about the visual as much as it is about the music and about the singing. Because you've got 13 or how many of our members each doing their parts. It's almost like a dance group doing music, right? In that case, right? And then you also look at yeah, most pop artists doing their music videos. You've got the marketing side of things. So I feel it's really for the reach, really for getting people on board.
Yeah,
And maybe
and also no, sorry, go ahead.
no, no, that's okay. Go ahead, go ahead. Yeah,
And the generation that the artists are targeting now are different.
yeah,
Like now, Gen Z, like we are just sort of, we as a generation are kind of infamous for our very limited attention spans. So I mean, like, think about it. YouTube now, since they have introduced YouTube Shorts, the it, like, we don't watch as many long form videos as we used to before YouTube Shorts was a thing. So in that sort of regard, like, what's the point of spending so much on videos when, like, people are not even going to watch it? I'm not saying that nobody does, but like, that could probably be one of, like, another factor that storytelling through video is like not very much a thing uh, for, like, since one of the questions that we are dealing with is the relevance of video dwindling in 2024. Maybe this is another perspective
yeah.
that we could keep in
Maybe we
mind.
need to take this from the perspective of, say you're like an artist and you're thinking about, okay, I gotta a there are two things I want to do. A, I want to market the song. I want people to check it out. B, I feel like my lyrics are quite vague, so I kind of want to tell a story, and I think maybe adding a bit of
Mm.
video might actually help sort of cement the message that I want to get out. You know what I mean? So I think
Yeah.
now's a good time to sort of go and talk about the little survey that we did. So as I mentioned before, or I think I did mention, yeah, we conducted a small little survey before recording this episode, and we sent it out to friends, family, and some of the audience members for the show. So yeah, so if you're listening, you may have done the survey. With thanks so much for participating. It's not a big survey. It's very small. So none of the none of the what do I say, responses, or none of the results of the survey are actually like generalizable. They're not really, it won't speak for everyone, but I think it was an interesting idea for us to try out, because we wanted ideas, basically. What are some potential reasons that people may or may not care for music videos? Because personally speaking, for me, I'm on this, I'm kind of similar with Robin. I'm on the side of, I don't really actively search for music videos. In fact, they don't even constitute a big part of the listening experience for me. Like, the very few songs that I really remember the music videos of, for me, I'm just all about the audio. So, and I'm so used to listening to stuff. So for those people who do, why do they? And what is it? What about the music listening experience is enhanced because of the videos, right? So we did the survey. We asked two questions. We asked first what genres of music people listen to, and we got some pretty, like, varied, results. A lot of people listen to pop. A lot of people listen to classical indie music. Bollywood and other film music is on there as well. Actually, that's probably one of the biggest. Yeah. I just noticed that on the form that Bollywood and Tollywood is listed twice as an option. So that's interesting.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah. Rap, hip hop is also up there. Rock, metal, of course, funk and jazz. Yeah, we've got a pretty nice spread. So given that, and this is interesting for me. So I've been tracking the results of the survey from the start, and we started out with, I think, over 60% of the people who responded actually actively searched for music videos, and the reasons they gave were they enjoy watching them, so it's kind of to better understand the message of the song. It can enhance that. there's a need obviously to understand the artist a bit more as maybe a person. That's a reason that was listed. Bollywood, like I think we mentioned at the start,
Oh,
Bollywood was also mentioned here. So obviously because we'll get to that in a second. Bollywood's a unique case because all 90% of the music is associated with a particular scene in a film or TV series or whatever, right? So there's that association. Um, yeah, it's sometimes the videos are just fun. They're quirky, interesting. That could be a reason. Someone said that yeah, that watching videos can help visualize the music. So that's an interesting. So maybe
oh
I don't know if
wow.
they mean like you know how we had visualizers. Oh, another interesting point. We had those visualizers when we were kids, right? Like the Windows Media Player visualizers that gave us like these really
Mm-hmm.
cool abstract little kind of electronic like sound
Mm.
waves, and that would play every time we load a song. Like I remember we used to have that on like my old laptop from the early 2000s, the
Yeah,
Toshiba one.
Windows
Windows
XP
XP,
also
yeah,
had it.
exactly. So that's an
Yeah,
interesting one.
and
Maybe
95.
um someone's written to make me feel comfortable from my mood swings, stress and frustration. So I think maybe maybe it's just a thing of you are used to video content and that's something that's relaxing for you. Um and you like to watch these videos perhaps. Maybe there are people who are kind of our opposites in that they can't just listen to music, they need audio. Sorry, my bad,
I think
they
I'm
need video.
sorely mistaken in my yeah, in that sense I think I'm sorely mistaken in my like guess with how us Gen Zers would take videos. Like I mean,
No,
it
yeah,
seems
we are
like
we
they're
are an
very
outlier because I mean if you look at there's
yeah,
so much like writing and reporting on the fact that attention spans have dropped and people need video,
yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But of course
Oh,
I don't
okay,
think it's a
okay.
black and white thing.
Hmm.
I think there are exceptions like
Right.
me and you. So yeah, but I think there are people who are our
Hmm.
opposites who kind of unlike us cannot do just audio. Rather, they are very strongly
Yeah.
just video consumers. So
I mean, that's kind of fair. Like, I kind of feel that way with books. Like, I can't, when I'm reading a book, for some people, the book is enough. They can imagine like stuff for themselves. Whereas for me, I prefer to watch the video adaptation of that book. But when it comes to music, all of a sudden, I don't care for the video. The video is almost a distraction for me.
yeah,
I
exactly.
would much rather just,
Probably, yeah.
yeah.
So, like I said, I think I was initially the form was very skewed towards people who did actively listen or sorry rather actively search for music videos for songs. But then all of a sudden, the more responses we have about 27 responses on this form. So later on, that scale tipped, and now 63% of the people who fill in this form feel that they don't really care for music videos, and the reasons that were given was it kind of it depends on the song. So I can understand that if I'm a big Porter Robinson fan. Like he's an artist I've listened to since
Mm,
I was a kid. Absolutely love his
mm,
music. So every time he releases a new song, and he tends to do a lot of storytelling with his videos as well. So if there's any artist I would check out a music video for, if at all I had to, it would probably be him. So that makes sense. It depends on the artist. B yeah, some people are like us, just kind of prefer listening to stuff. I feel like listening to audio is more convenient in some ways. It's less effort. So like
oh,
I can
yeah.
I can
Yeah.
listen to a podcast. Well, I listen to Project Khichdi sometimes. So I listen to podcasts and listen to music.
I'm guilty of that too.
Yeah, I listen to podcasts or music, or I'm also listening to like audio dramas and stuff when I'm cooking, cleaning, doing laundry, or even walking up and down somewhere. I've constantly got audio in my ear, so that's just natural and convenient. Because I don't imagine having to hold your phone up or just constantly stare into something if you're up and doing something else. It's such a
Oh, yeah.
convenient format to consume
That's
audio.
that was honestly the reason for my guess that videos won't work, because I was like, if we tend to get distracted so easily, we won't be able to sit in one place and watch the video, right? Wouldn't we like want to keep the phone in our pocket and while listening
Exactly,
to
and I'm constantly up
the
and
audio
doing
thing, do
things.
other
Like
stuff?
the only exception I've
Yeah.
noticed, the only time I actually watch like TV right nowadays is if I'm eating something. Like I've got like I'm having lunch or something, and I got like 30 minutes, and I'm like whatever, I'll go.
Guilty of that
Yeah,
again.
I'll switch on Netflix and I'll check out. By the way, I'm rewatching Little Things, which is such a cute TV show. Go see if you haven't seen it.
I'm watching Modern Family right
Oh,
now.
boy,
Like
family.
just
Yeah,
random
so I
episode.
mean, I
Yeah.
feel like there's a bit of that. Like it's just I've got time to spare and I'm eating something, fine, I'll sit and watch something. But otherwise, I've just audio when I'm working. I've got music or I've got some audio in the background. If I'm doing house tasks, then yeah, I've got audio. I've just got headphones on the whole time, and that's just my. I think I think that's part of the reason why podcasts have become so popular. You know, lately you got Joe Rogan. You've got so many. Everybody has a podcast now. Um, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Davey 504 got a podcast as well. He probably does. He probably has a podcast. I've just not checked. Um, but yeah, so that's pretty much
Hmm.
it. Yeah, so one of the responses we got was, I believe that the feeling that I derive from music is by hearing it is enough. So yeah, the audio is sufficient. Um,
That's exactly what
yeah,
I feel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Someone
Yeah.
was very curt. They just said, "I don't really care about them," and that's it. I respect, man. Whoever wrote that, respect.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I agree.
yeah, and
Agree
then
with
some
that
people
sentiment.
never really thought to look up the video. So I think for a lot of people, that's just not the game because you have Spotify now, right? And so every time there's a new release, especially from an artist, you just check out the song. Like it's not that much of a yeah. It's like a hit.
Oh
It's a hit or
yeah.
miss.
See, here's the interesting thing that Spotify for podcasts still has like this video option. But like
That's a good
even
point.
for artists like Taylor
That's a
Swift,
good point.
even for artists like Taylor Swift who rely so much on video, if you go to their songs on Spotify, there is no option of, oh, but can I see the video on Spotify itself? No, it's with songs, for whatever reason, they have strictly stuck to it being an audio only listening
Yeah, I mean, which has
experience.
worked for them. I mean, you could always add the videos, and
Yeah.
that would enhance the experience, I'm sure. But how many people? Then that just becomes YouTube, right? How different is it?
Yeah.
I think that's probably part of the YouTube selling point. Like I've done, you know what? I wasn't planning to sidetrack, but since we've kind of already gone in that direction, like I think my habit of just listening to stuff has expanded beyond just music. Like I now watch or I listen to video essay content on YouTube when I'm doing other stuff.
Mm.
Like I've stopped watching YouTube videos. I listen to YouTube videos, right? Because even the video essay
Good for your
stuff,
eyes.
good for my eyes because I already spend so much time on my laptop. But it's just interesting because there's so much content and so much editing and so much effects stuff that's going on in the video, but I just don't need it to get the crux of what the person's saying.
Yeah.
And the kind of stuff I get it. Like I might be a niche consumer in that I watch a lot of informational
Right.
infotainment content, so video essays on the TikTokification of music, or I'll watch like
Ah,
an air crash investigation
yeah.
episode, and it's weird. You think again,
Right.
air crash investigation. You think, well, you got to see where the plane crashed, right, before you kind of get into the investigation. I'm like, no, I'm just listening to this person with a really nice, deep, like baritone voice, talking about this, and I'm like, I'm happy, man. I've got full picture in my head. So I guess it's the same argument between reading a book and watching TV, right? Some people prefer the books, and obviously there's more to be said in books than in and more that can be done most of the time than in television. But at the same time, and as I'm gonna quote one of my favorite TV shows now, if you've grown up watching iCarly, which is a Disney show, I watched it as a kid, and one of the characters, played by Jeanette McCurdy, said, "I love reading books. It's like TV in your head." And that's pretty much the same concept.
Oh,
So I've got all of the
wow.
same stimulus, and I'm just able to fill in the gaps with
Mm.
my own imagination. It's really, and I think this deserves an episode at some point. Genuinely, like I don't mean this.
And yeah, probably like a
Just
audio video part two
the
kind of thing.
power of audio is going to be the part two to this, which I would love to do because I
Yeah.
genuinely, that's something I've been investing in.
Honestly, although like there's just one small question that I have with all of this
Yeah.
is, sure, we now got like some good insights quite a lot of good insights from our listeners as well on what this experience is like for them.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of wondering that, are there music, like, are artists guilty of purposely, in some, not in all cases, but in some cases, purposely investing more on the video front and purposely keeping the music slightly simplistic so that people focus more on the video? And one example that I can think of for this is have you heard of this track by Donald Glover called "This Is America"?
Of course, it was
Um,
such a like in school. It was such a popular one when it came out. This is America. You got me tripping. I don't even know the lyrics,
uh,
but yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it. And the
like
video is
like
also
he
very
shoots.
very like
Yeah, there's like it's like there's analysis per square meter of that video because of how many references there are to like racism. This like racism and racial violence in America. Like one small example is like this guy shoots another black man, and then someone immediately comes. With like a cloth on which the gun is kept. So like the gun is taken very carefully, whereas the dead body is being dragged on the street. So, and while all of this chaos is happening, there are like five black people dancing in front of the screen. So it's kind of like you're being distracted. You can't see the body being dragged away because there are people dancing in front
yeah.
of you. So it's kind of like
yeah.
this is supposed to be a metaphor for how black entertainers are being used to like sort of, distract people from the issues that America is facing
Oh my
today.
God, that is deep.
And
Yeah. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
you've got that like so there you go. That's testament to what you can do with a video. So I think it's really it at the end the
Yes.
conclusion for a lot of these conversations on what is the purpose of this is just it depends on what you're doing now. You have the freedom and choice to go ahead and do what you want, but I think looking at like
And
trends and
yeah.
statistics, it might be just I wonder like this survey showed us that there's maybe a little bit more convenience to audio. So
Yeah. Yeah.
perhaps it maybe it's
And
perhaps it's not necessary to have a music video, but I think in the grand scheme of especially for music where there's very very well crafted and well sort of there's a lot of very poetic writing in terms of like the lyrics. I think having a video because I can give an example. So the one of my favorite Charlie Puth songs is Light Switch, which came out in 2021. I don't listen to pop music much. I don't listen to Charlie Puth, but this song I really liked it. It was really well put together. And then I because I occasionally search up music on YouTube, I came across the video. And then I looked at the video and I said, hold on a second. This video, the story that this video is telling is not exactly what the lyrics are saying, at least from what I could understand. Right? Because the lyrics talk about, well, you turn me on like a light switch, right? And it's talking about how, well, obviously he is in love with someone or this woman's ability to captivate him or whatever, right? But then you look at the video and it's about Charlie Puth training to get fitter so he can impress a girl. So they're not the it's not direct. It's not like a one-to-one copy, right? But it's related. So
yeah.
there are some interesting things you can do with video. I just wonder like is that something
Like I
sorry,
yeah.
I'll just finish it quickly. I
No,
just
it's
I
fine.
just wonder
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
wonder if that's gonna be a choice like because if you look at me, right, I write songs. I've never thought to do a music video. It's just never really been something I felt I needed to do. And I have written stuff with lyrics. Like one of my favorite songs, one of my best songs I've ever written, in my opinion, which is called "Just Stop Caring." I can link it in the description, which talks about some personal feelings of mine that I felt in the year 2022. That song is very lyrical. Probably the most lyrical song I've ever written. But yeah, I just never really felt
Yeah. Yeah.
it's
It
never
has
been a
like
choice.
verses and stuff.
And it's again
Yeah.
like I'm not a professional videographer. I could just pick up my smartphone and record a video and put that online, right? Or borrow a DSLR and shoot something, and that's always an option. But yeah, it's never been like I've never really felt that urge. So yeah, just curious to kind of sort of see why, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I just felt that like it like specifically speaking about the artist Donald Glover, I think like he is not just a musician. He's also a script writer. He's also like if you've heard of the show Atlanta, he has written it himself. He's also an actor.
Yeah, he
So like
started
with these
Community.
multi-talented yeah, with like yeah, exactly. So with these and he's also done stand-up. So it's like with such multi-talented artists, I think these artists probably find it difficult to conform to just one identity as like I'm just a musician, so I should
That's
just focus
possible.
on the
That is
music.
possible. Yeah.
So I guess that also plays like a big role in like sort of determining because yeah the video the script writing there's a lot of video script writing metaphorical sort of writing that has gone behind the making of the video and then lyrical writing and music related knowledge that has gone in the making of the track, so there's definitely a lot going on there.
Yeah. So
I
let's
feel.
let's quickly
And then
Sorry, you can go ahead. Go ahead.
No, just one last point. And then finally, I guess, like, how someone said, I don't really care for videos. I guess there are some artists who, like, literally just look at their song and they're like, you know what, I don't care for it, but I'll just put one anyway. And I think John Mayer's Paper Doll is like the best example, because the track is about John Mayer's brief, like, it's rather a response track to Taylor Swift, one of Taylor Swift's tracks that she had written about John Mayer, where she had like thrown some jabs at John Mayer. So John Mayer is kind of like
That's
throwing some
alleged,
jabs at
right?
Taylor Swift.
Was it proven, or is that's alleged?
Alleged. Yeah, something, something like that. Something that happened between them, I
Yeah.
guess.
Okay.
But so, like, the lyrics are like something to do with that, but the video is completely non sequitur. It's an old lady doing some prancing exercise. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think
And there's no relation whatsoever with the lyrics
Yeah.
at all.
that's really interesting, and
Yeah.
I think just to sort of pull this back a bit, just to kind of summarize what we spoke about so far. So we've got, on the one hand, you've got a very clear purpose. It's a marketing tool. It's just to get people to video works as a format. It has worked for 100 years now, and it's a powerful tool. So people, you need a video element to draw listeners in, especially on a platform like YouTube or even TikTok. On the other hand, you see this massive potential for storytelling, right? And you see that people can, and both directly and indirectly, actually enhance the experience or the story of the song they're writing tenfold by just having a video. And that's a testament to, obviously, like, the focus of artistry being on storytelling as opposed to, the medium, which is audio or music or whatever, right? And that's a choice. And yeah, sort of in between, you have people that are doing a bit of both. And I think I don't want to see this as like a binary thing of, oh, you either do storytelling or you do like an ad placement or whatever, right? But yeah, I guess no, I think that this is, now we've been talking very, very strictly about Western music. So let's now, I want to contrast this with,
Yeah.
I think, an interesting phenomenon, which is Bollywood or even Tollywood or Mollywood, any Indian film business, right, or film industry. Let's look at it. We can look at Malayalam films. We can look at Bengali films. I think it's all the same. You have songs that are written for certain scenes in a film, right? So the association there is, oh, I know this song from that film. Like, where do people know Chamak Chalo from?
Yeah.
Rawan, right?
Oh yeah.
That one
from,
scene.
Chennai. Oh no, sorry.
Lungi dance, yeah, Lungi dance from Chennai
God, I was
Express.
gonna say, I was gonna say the wrong film for the wrong song. But
To Chamak,
yeah, that
Chamak
goes
Chalo
on to
from
show the
Lungi
testament.
Dance. From Lungi.
No, Chennai Express.
I've confused
I was
myself
gonna say
even
Chen-
further.
I'm so confused. That's a testament to my Bollywood knowledge, but
Mine as well.
really
mine
sorry,
as well.
Bollywood
Yeah,
listeners
don't come
who are
at us.
Bollywood enthusiasts.
I have some Bollywood
Yeah.
fans are gonna come at me now, but no, I'm kidding. No, but yeah, so you have these songs that are composed and written for Bollywood films or Mollywood films or whatever, right? Like, you have Turaka Manga. Was it Mangalyam? I forgot. Do not. I'm gonna stop speaking in Malayalam because I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation. But there's a very popular song from the film Bangalore Days, which is a Malayalam film.
Oh.
Do you remember that? Turaka
Oh, yeah.
Mangalyam. I can't even sing it properly. But
Yeah, no, I know. I know that song.
yeah,
Yeah.
you've got, yeah, so you got Chama Chalo from Raman, you've got Lungi Dance from Chennai Express, which again,
And what was that Telugu film? Say there was one.
Natu
which became
Natu
like an
from
issue with
RRR.
Thaikudam Bridge.
Yeah, Natu from RRR. It got global.
Which became, is that the one that got had like a beef with Thaikudam Bridge?
No. That's Varaha Rupam. That's from Kantara, which was that.
Varaha Rupam.
That's it. Yeah, that's
Kantara.
the one we talked about in episode 16 in season 1. Yeah. So
Is that a Telugu film?
that's
or,
not a Telugu film.
or
It's
some or
that
Kannada
is-
film.
It's a. I think it's a Kannada film. I'm not sure. Let me check. Hold on. Kantara.
Okay, yeah.
Kantara.
But, like, even
Kannada,
that
it's Kannada
has-
film. Yeah, correct. It's Kannada film. Yeah.
Kannada film, yeah.
But
Even that has like some significance with regards to the plot.
exactly. It's
Oh.
it's about, the whole song is
Yeah.
about a particular culture. So again, there's a very specific association. These songs are written for the films that they were of course that they're associated with. The money and the direction and the composition, everything is done sort of within that film space, right? So it's a very clear association. So when people think of really old songs, Pehla Nasha, what's some old Hindi song? Sorry, I blank out when it comes to names. You're gonna have to fill in for me here. What are some old film songs that people come back to that are very popular and that are played a lot at like social events?
Kal Ho Na Ho. I mean, that's not like 90s old. That's like just beginning of
Yeah,
2000.
Kal Ho Na Ho.
Kal Ho Na Ho.
Then
And like Kishore Kumar songs. A lot
Kishore
of think of
Kumar,
Kishore
yeah.
Kumar songs.
Exactly.
Lata Mangeshkar, Asha
Exactly.
Bhosle. Yeah.
Yeah, the associations there are with the films, right? I suppose like the nostalgia, the reason they're so popular, the reason the videos especially I mean, we can attest to the fact that films that do really really well in India will have hundreds of millions of views. Like the YouTube videos will get that's, I mean, if you look at T Series, look at Sony Music, like their YouTube channels have so many followers. So clearly those music videos are working, and I think that's also probably a big reason for why YouTube is probably one of the biggest, like the biggest music streaming platform in the country, right? So people love these films so much, they love the music so much that it's all tied together and it's all part of the experience. So I think there's probably as much about the marketing as it is about the storytelling, right? Maybe that's something maybe worth looking into a little later, because
Yeah.
I
There's also the angle of with Bollywood listeners only. Like we were confined by technology till like back in the 80s, people would listen to these songs only once in theaters,
theaters,
like while watching the
yeah,
movie, and
correct.
then rest of the time they'll just consume it on radio,
Yeah.
or cassette, CDs, whatever.
Exactly. So
But like, so it's like they get the one-time video experience, and then afterwards, till they got like a TV for themselves, they would be confined to listening to
exactly,
the
which
audio only
is
version.
a really
But I don't
good.
see that as a confinement again.
Yeah, it's a really
But I'm
good.
just saying.
No, it's a really, really good observation, because then you think about it, right? Like we imagine you hear, a John Mayer song on the radio. You're not gonna visualize the video that would maybe is associated with the song, right? You're gonna just think about John Mayer playing the guitar. But you listen to a film song
Yeah.
on the radio, and you've seen the film before. You know what scene that is, right? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm thinking back. I've only seen like a handful of Bollywood films, but I'm thinking back to like Om Shanti Om, 2005. Like there's a scene. Was it Main Agar Ka Hoon? That song. Like I have the visual.
Yes.
It's been ages since I watched that film, but the association. But when I hear that song play, I know exactly what scene from the film is playing when the song hits. So I think that's also really interesting. So you have these associations. Maybe that's also a thing to know. Like these videos create memory.
Oh. Also, actually, that also reminds me. My dad used to say this about Kishore Kumar, that
Yeah.
because he's so playback singer, right? Like I don't know how popular that term is for Western musicians, but playback singer essentially means a person who dubs the voice of the person playing the movie role for the singing parts, because the actors
Yeah.
are not, they're good
Session
actors, they're not
singers,
good
session
singers.
singers.
So Kishore Kumar.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kishore Kumar would actually manipulate his voice depending on the actor that he's voicing.
Yeah. So you think
And
it's Shah Rukh
sometimes he would
Khan, you
even
think it's
sing the female parts. Kishore Kumar would sing female parts sometimes.
Wow.
And my dad says that like he would do it, he would like change his voice pretty convincingly, and yet he had like a signature voice in all of these voices.
That is wild.
Through which you still know that it's Kishore Kumar.
That is really wild.
Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah. So
Yeah,
there you
it's
go. Like
my dad would say that you can hear his voice, you can hear his impersonation of voice, and guess the actor that he was voicing, even without, having a visual sort of.
So
medium.
there you have it.
I kind of found that.
There you
very
have it. So then
interesting.
I think we've got a key again, like I just mentioned. I think the key element here is that it's just about memory. How do you get people to create? How do you manufacture these associations so people will remember the songs and remember the films that were, created for these songs? So like that's an important element. I don't think you see that as much with the music video. Probably has a slightly different purpose in the West, right? Especially for pop music, and yeah, I imagine like I guess for anyone here who's a musician or who likes listening to music videos or is just curious. Maybe that's something to consider next time you're kind of listening or watching something. Like what is the purpose that this video is serving for this song? Like, is it just an add-on? Is it just there because the artist wanted to put something in so people would watch the YouTube video, or is there a story being told? I feel like Taylor Swift fans have gotten this one nailed down, because I'm not a Swiftie, but people who are, I'm sure there's a lot of lore, there's a lot of story behind the videos that are posted and published, and the music and all of that. Same case with like Porter Robinson. I'm trying to think of other artists that I've listened to who definitely have some videos. So I think Ed Sheeran's done a few interesting videos. Like, I think one song I can think of is Beautiful People. The video is really touching.
Oh yeah.
Really, really touching video.
Yeah.
So you have stuff like that. So I think you definitely keep an eye out for when you're listening to stuff, and you'll maybe find some interesting Easter eggs, and who knows, maybe that will genuinely enrich the listening experience for you. And on the other hand, the opposite is true. I think I definitely I'm personally invested in covering an episode on the power of audio, because I've been listening to an audio drama. And when I say it's an audio drama, I mean it's
Hey, look at us.
What?
Look at us coming up with episode ideas on the go.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like literally.
That's why we do episodes. So we come up with more ideas to do more episodes. It's a beautiful content cycle. We've nailed the content creation formula. No, yeah, but in all seriousness,
you're seeing us ideating. We haven't, but you're seeing us ideate as you're also seeing us perform.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but like I've been listening to an audio drama. It's like a TV show. Imagine a TV show without the visuals. It's just the audio and sound effects. And initially when I started this, I was a bit hesitant because I was like, it's audio, I'm not going to be able to connect with this. But here I am 3 seasons later, and I'm still listening to this, and it is probably one of the best pieces of content I've ever consumed. It is that good. But I'm going to get into that, and it is truly amazing what they've been able to do with just sound. So I definitely think there's a space for audio, and I feel like from what we're seeing on this survey and what we're seeing with podcasts and a lot of this content, with Audible and all of these apps popping up, there is definitely a market for this. So I think it's just going to get more segmented. And I think music videos, I think there's no longer a concept of, we're doing this to market it to a larger audience. It's no longer that sort of homogenized, and it's going to be more segmented. And I think maybe that's really where interest is going to be observed. And then I'm actually excited for that, because that means I don't have to make music videos. I can just post my songs and it's kind of good. But yeah, no, great conversation. I think started off pretty slow. I wasn't really, because it's definitely I wouldn't say this thought isn't something that obviously we came up with. I'm sure there've been conversations. I've been browsing Reddit, and I've seen a couple of threads talking about music videos. Yeah, there's a thread, I'll share it. It talks about whether this is a 2022 thread on r/pop culture chat. Yeah, people seem to have quite a bit to say. Like, yeah, like what we talk about K-pop still being pretty popular. Yeah, I think originality, a lot of conversation. Do check that out if you're curious to know more about this topic. But yeah, we wanted to definitely think about it, because just sort of introspecting on our experiences and our kind of consumption patterns and all of that. It's just interesting seeing that video, something that we've all grown up with, is just no longer as important. So yeah, that's pretty much it. This has been a fun conversation. Anything you want to add, Robin, before we switch?
Oh no, just simply that I guess it started off slow because this was a little less condensed than the previous episode. We were like literally figuring things on the go. So
I think
but
more questions.
Once things started to crystallize.
Yeah.
Once things started to crystallize, I think we sped up.
Yeah, we did pretty good.
And
all right, cool. So on that note, let's switch things up. Now onto our news segment. Jonathan, give us a little nice sort of transition effect here. I've got some really interesting news to talk about today. Actually, it's not even news. It's something that happened. It is kind of news in that it's recent, like it happened literally 2 days ago, and that it was just announced. But it's not like a news article. It's just something cool in the music production world that I wanted to talk about. And actually, for this, Robin doesn't know I want to do this, but actually, I want to give you a demo, Robin. How does that sound?
What?
I'm gonna
amazing, but Whoa, demo?
Yeah,
Like a demo of what?
a demo of a cool little plugin that Jacob Collier has released. It's called the Audience Choir. So if you listen to Jacob Collier, you know that he does audience choirs, and every time he does a concert, and what that means is he basically gets the audience to sing, and then he creates music out of that, which is truly fascinating. I will share a link of an example. But what he's done, and over the last 1 year, is he's taken recordings of his show, people doing audience choirs at his shows, and he's turned that into a plugin on Contact. Contact is this plugin host for all these sound libraries, and Jacob Collier's one is a part of that. So I've just been playing around with it today. It's completely free. You can download it. I will also link that to the description if you're a music producer and you want to make stuff. But I just want to quickly kind of switch gears and give you a little sample of what it could sound like, because I think it's genuinely really, really cool. Just one second. I'm going to pull this up.
Yeah, I see it.
All right, let's hit it. So, like I said, this is a plugin that basically is just recordings of people singing in the crowd, and it sounds really good. I'm gonna play for you a little bit what it sounds like. So it's so nice. It's got like this reverb, it's stereo, and it just sounds like if you put a choir in an orchestra, is kind of what it sounds like. And you've got these different articulations. You can do ah sounds, you've got sounds, you've got ooh sounds, and e sounds. And this just sounds like a genuine, like a regular choir. But the interesting thing is, he's recorded this from, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, no, sorry, 22 different countries. Or different cities. So these are tours he's gone on. So each of the sounds it's all an amalgamation, right? And now you're probably wondering, okay, so it's just a choir. What's the use case for this? I mean, if you're writing orchestral music, or if you're doing something with more ambience, this is such a fantastic tool that is creating some very, very stereo, wide panned orchestral sounds, or just even like background ambience. And you can EQ and you can mix this any way you want. So you got and if you want something that's a little,
you can manipulate.
yeah, and it'll fit really well with any like a movie soundtrack or a game soundtrack that you're working on. There are a bunch of settings here. It's your standard like plugin. You can adjust the sound of it. You can have it sound very open. Oh, sorry, closed, open. You can change the timbre. It's kind of like a cutoff knob. You can change the attack. You can also change the release, so you can change how long it takes for the sound to completely stop. I like to do it somewhere 50, it's like 50%, but you can have it. Which is kind of fun. But you can also make it more kind of like it's kind of in a room by increasing the release. So it's like a bit of it's almost like reverb. And I think it's really nice. It's just because in my case, right? Because it's obviously I can't physically record my own choir, or I can't really get like a orchestral sound without using plugins. So to be able to have this is really useful. So what I was doing earlier before the show, Robin, was I made this kind of cool, just like progression with some synthesizers. So I'll play that now. So yeah, very, very simple kind of synth progression. And then I was like, what if I added this choir thing on top of that? How would that sound? So I think if I'm not wrong, what I'm writing this is in the key of G. Yeah. So just like let's see what happens. I'm gonna play a little bit of this and then add the choir on top to see how it sounds. It just sounds
That was a
so
beautiful
magical.
demo.
I don't know. I
Wow.
love it. I've only been using it for like 30 minutes. That's the total time I've spent um, making it. Um,
The ambience that the choir added was just mind blowing.
yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much my demo. Do you want to quickly do yours? Because I think we've got to end pretty soon.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Honestly, the topic that I'm like sort of I brought to the table, most of it is already explained in a video that will be attached to the description. So I will just go just touch on the basic topics, and if you're interested in it, then you can watch the in-depth version of it on YouTube. So I kind of wanted to do an instrument feature in the sense that not even I just wanted to ask our listeners if they have heard of this very unconventional instrument that's not very like well known. So I just wanted to feature that. Think about this instrument as a guitar and a piano had a baby. I don't know how else to put it. Uh, and the product of that is what is known as a harpeggi. Uh, that's spelled as
Yeah.
Harpejji. Um, from the basics of what like I have heard of the arpeggio, it's just hold on for a second. It's actually even unlike like let's say something like the guitar and the piano, which go way back in terms of how old they are. This is a very recent instrument, literally invented in the year 2007. And I mean, like, I genuinely can't even describe it, because even though it has frets and it looks like the fingerboard of the guitar, you're supposed to keep it like on a table and kind of play it like a piano. It's kind of like, what if you
Yeah.
kept the guitar
I tell you what.
horizontally and you just like sort of
Let's
fret it?
let's. I think description's not
Yeah,
gonna do justice. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually just play a snippet of what you've given me and just.
fair enough.
So it's a really nice
Yeah,
instrument.
it's just one last thing I wanted to add to this. By the way, that again was Jacob Collier, so he has made it to both our news features. Beautiful playing by Jacob Collier, and if you notice, it's a very unique sound as well. And these come in like electric versions, I guess, as well. So like you can program the sound to however you want it. And the thing is, the instrument is shaped in such a way, like sort of designed in such a way that you go like music theory wise, right? Like when you say that's called a half tone. So you are going half tones when you're traveling this instrument like vertically, but you're going full like whole tones, that is when you are sort of traversing on this instrument horizontally. So it's a very unique sort of layout, and I guess if you know any stringed instrument, then probably those skills could translate to learning the arpeggio. They're kind of expensive, I guess. Like I checked the India prices, it's like I guess
Oh
2
my
lakh or
god,
3
yeah.
lakhs to get
No,
even the
no
starter
chance.
model of
No
it.
chance it's happening.
Yeah, no chance for the both of
Yeah.
us. But like yeah, if you are more interested in this instrument, then the video is
Yes, will
attached
do. That's a
to our
cool
episode
little
description.
thing.
Yeah.
I guess on that note, we are a little bit out of time, so gotta wrap this up. We're gonna link all of the stuff we talked about today in the description, so make sure to check that out. It's been a fun episode. Thanks so much for listening to episode 2 of season 2 of Project Khichdi. It's been a blast. My name is Aditya. This is Robin. Say bye, Robin. This time.
And I'm
Say
Robin.
bye.
Yeah. Bye.
Good.
Bye.
Okay.
Tata.
Cool.
Not a sponsor,
Yeah.
but Tata.
All right. See you guys next time. Bye bye. Take care.